Hey guys, Ludicrous here with a full completion walkthrough for EchoBlade. This released on the 5th of July 2023. It was developed by Sunset Arctic Games and published by Eastasiasoft Limited. It can be found in both the Xbox and PlayStation stores for $9.99. However, during launch week it should have a 20% discount. EchoBlade is a first-person RPG where you play as a blind knight. Sounds or echoes are the only way to identify your surroundings and potential threats. Just think of it as a medieval Daredevil. The full completion should take you around 20 to 25 minutes, following along with the pathing I take in this guide. I suggest turning up the brightness to full before starting the game. This can be done within the settings as the rest of the game is pretty dark. There's a total of 10 achievements or trophies to get. There's a few miscellaneous ones which we'll deal with early on, and then the rest is just a case of grinding out 50 kills and unlocking 8 upgrades. The game has multiple paths which you can take, but if you follow along with the route I take in the video, you'll end up in a room with around 15 enemies, and then we can constantly reload this room and grind out the last 50 kills. So once you start the game, you'll notice that you're in total darkness, and the only things you can see are the things that are making noise, such as the torches on the walls. They'll do a small pulsation to show you a rough idea where you need to go. You can also push in the right analog stick with the Xbox controller. This will make a clang sound with the sword and light up the area around you. It'll also alert enemies like this guy over here. In terms of combat, if you hold the left trigger it will block. However, I just found myself using heavy attacks, so holding the right trigger down until it's fully charged, then releasing to hit the enemy, and then 2 or 3 heavy attacks should kill him without needing to block. Now that we've leveled up, you can press start and go into the perk menu. I suggest buying the ones from the top and working your way down, as you'll need to unlock 8 of these to get the achievements. So the first 3 perks at the top are worth 1 point, the next 3 are worth 2, etc, etc, so they get more and more expensive. So just make sure you start at the ones at the top and you don't burn out all those points. So we proceeded on a little bit further, met our second enemy, dispatched him and leveled up again. So go back into the perk menu and we'll see that we have 2 points to spend here, so we can buy base attack and base stamina for 1 point each. Any further perks are now going to cost us 2 and then 3 points, so you'll have to start saving up those points when you level up. We're now going to bear left. If you run against this wall, you'll be given some arrows, which we can then use with our crossbow. So press X to change weapon. And we'll be kindly greeted by 2 enemies here. So all we need to do is aim our crossbow at him and shoot him twice. The first shot will injure him, but the second one will certainly kill him. I missed a shot there. And then on the third shot, I did actually kill him. He kind of ragdolls all over the place, and we do get the achievement for Precise Hunter. We can now press X to switch back to our sword, dispatch of the second character, and we've also leveled up. You see that we've got 3 points, so we're going to spend 2 on finding more arrows. We're going to have 1 spare additional point that we can't spend, but we'll just proceed on till we level up again. And we get the achievement for unlocking 4 upgrades, and we're halfway through those. So these first couple of levels are fairly linear. There's only 1 path to take, so just continue on. Jump up these stairs. We'll drop down. There will be a locked door dead ahead, but on this back wall here is a key. So if you run into the key and then run into the gate, it will open up. Continue walking forward, and then we should proceed into the upper dungeon. What I forgot to mention at the start, there's an achievement for Shhhhh, which is for making a lot of noise. This is for making around 50 noises, so to get this all I was doing is running around, pushing in the right stick constantly and constantly clanging my sword, revealing the area around me. So every time you're running around, not fighting an enemy, just keep pushing in that right thumbstick to make a clang, and then eventually you will get the achievement for Shhhhh pop up once you've made 50 noises. So we've dispatched that enemy. We've noticed there's a locked door, so we're looking for the key now. Thankfully this guy up the stairs here does have the key. So once we've killed him up this stairway, we should pick up the key and go and open the door. You'll notice there an achievement has popped for killing somebody with a trap. This has been done accidentally by the guy downstairs. So we're just going to retrace our footsteps to get back to where we were. Open that locked door, and I'm going to show you how to trigger the trap and kill somebody if for whatever reason it didn't pop for you accidentally. So you can see the chap there who's accidentally killed himself, but in the next room there is another enemy. So just on this staircase I'll lure somebody up, and then all we're going to do is put the trap in between me and him, and then eventually he's going to go for us, stand on the trap and get spiked. Once you've done this twice, he will die. So there's the first hit, and then we just do it one more time, and this would pop the achievement for the Trap Master. We're now going to proceed on. We've also leveled up, so I'm going to go and spend some points. We've got a total of 2 points, so we can buy faster health regeneration, which of course is handy when you get in a bit of a scrap. So we're going to continue on. It's not until we reach the barracks that the paths start to split and we can go in multiple directions. So once we finish this level, you will need to pay more attention to the path that I'm taking, and that you take the right routes if you want to continue on following along with my guides, kind of side by side. So just dispatched another enemy there. Going to head on down this corridor. Another opportunity here to get some kills with the traps as well. You missed the last one. Kill this guard. I'm going to pick up the dungeon key, and now we're just going to look for the exit, which involves retracing our steps, I believe. So if you look on the floor, you can see our footsteps. And if you need to backtrack, you can just follow along with those. Very handy if you have seen the door and then you get a key, you can just follow the footsteps back to the door. I did follow the footsteps onto the trap that I was playing around with. Go down here. I'm going to dispatch this guy. We're not being in this room, so there's no footsteps on the floor. And then you'll see on the side of the room there's a gold lock. Opened it with a key, and we're now entering the barracks. This is where the paths start to split, and there's multiple directions that we can take, which will change the room or the next location that we go into. We've also leveled up for finishing that level, so I'm just going to spend the 3 points on one of these. So I've gone for increased agility. At the start of this level, there's a couple of traps to avoid. This one you're going to have to jump over when it's kind of swinging towards you. So there we go. Just got the achievement pop there for making a lot of noise called Shhhh, and that's for just pushing in the right stick constantly every chance I get. I dispatch this first guard. And then I'm going to avoid these traps in the middle of the room. There's another guard on the right hand side of the room. He's just being pronged by the trap there. And then we're going to check one of these doors. I think I'm going to check this one with the gate on first of all. Notice that there's a locked door down there. So it's obviously we're going to need a key before we can go that way. So we're going to go to this one on the right hand side here with the torch on the wall. We're going to go down here. Another guard here to dispatch. Make sure you kill him. And then we can see a key on the wall. I'm just going to pick that up. Just be careful, there is a couple of traps that trigger when you pick up the key. And then we're going to follow our steps back. We're now looking to open that locked door that we saw earlier in this room that was full of traps. Just make sure that gate doesn't drop on you. That will take some health off and potentially kill you. So we've opened that gate now. And there is a guy on this left hand side which you can talk to. He just mentions about poison. So if you go down that staircase, you'll run into some poison. We're going to stay on the top side. Dispatch this guy on the top. Throw his corpse into the poison gas. Then we're going to go through this doorway. Just be careful of the traps on the ceiling. There is 2. Get past those. Another guard in here. In a room full of traps. Give him a couple of stern heavy hits and he should go down. Also leveled up again. So I'm going to go back into perks and just spend these 4 points. I can only spend 3 of them. We're just going to pick take less damage from blocking. There's a choice of 6 there that are worth 3 points, so you can just choose whatever you wish. And then we're going to go straight over and up this staircase. And we're now entering the Lost Chamber. At that point, you could have bared right and gone a different direction, so just make sure when you do reach that trap room, you go straight over. We're now in a new zone. We're going to go straight ahead and down the staircase. We'll eventually come into a room that has 2 pressure pads on the right hand side of the room here that are flashing away. And there is also a large block. You can press Y to pick up objects and then press Y again to drop it. So put the first block on that pressure pad. If you take the staircase to the right hand side, there is another load of blocks. We're going to pick one of those up. And we're going to take it down and place it on the second pad. Just press Y to release it. That's going to instantly open the door alongside you here. And you should find an enemy up this staircase somewhere. There he is. Just take care of him. And then this room is completely closed off. However, there's some arrows on the wall. And if you look above this door frame here, there's a target. So press X to switch to your crossbow. Fire at the target. And then you can press X and proceed onwards down this corridor. Again, we're going to run into a room full of blocks. This time we need to mantle over the wall. So in this case, we're just going to stack 3, 2 and 1 blocks on top of each other and kind of make a staircase. Can be a little bit tricky. There is a little bit of physics involved when the blocks touch each other and it can knock them over, so just be careful. Give them plenty of space to breathe before dropping them. And then I find sprint jumping is the best way to climb up these. I did double tap forward there and my guy did a roll kind of thing or a dodge and I flew off, but climb back up again. And then we're going to go down and we're in another room here with another ledge. If you do a pulse, that you can see that we climb up on. So again, I'm going to stack the blocks. However, we're 1 block short here compared to the other room. So we have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery with the blocks. We have to kind of overlap them slightly so you can climb up on the first one. So here I'm going to start placing them kind of halfway between each other, like so. And then I'm going to put this one on the very top. And then the idea is to like jump on half a block here. He's not quite latching on. So I'll just move it along a little bit. Give it a little bit extra room. Obviously the physics will push the blocks a little bit so you can get up. And then we jump on the half and then we can jump on these last 2 full blocks and we're up on the top. We're going to take a right and go down the staircase. So make sure you don't drop down. Make sure you go down the staircase. And then we're going to proceed along here to the right here up the staircase. There's a guard or 2 here to dispatch of. And you'll see there's a key there on the wall. So once we've killed these 2 guys, we're going to grab the key and we're going to get the hell out of here. So grab the key. And there's no need to backtrack. We're just going to proceed on down this corridor. And then you'll eventually come to a room here with like 3 urns or jugs, which make weird chiming sounds. Dispatch of that guard. Up the staircase here. And then there's another staircase to head up. And then finally we get to a ledge, which we're just going to drop off. At the top of the ledge, you can just see the golden padlock in the distance there, which we now have the key for. So just drop down towards the blocks, open the gate and head forward, and then we're going to enter the central dungeon. So similar to the previous 2 rooms, this one does have multiple directions to take, so just try and follow along with me if you are watching the guide. Just double check to see if I had some perk points to spend. Unfortunately I've only got 2, so I haven't got the last one I need to get the 8th upgrade. Head up the stairs, we're going to be greeted by a friendly guy here who's going to roll back down the stairs. Right, in this room there's multiple exits, but what we want to do is go straight over from where we've come up the stairs. So once we've killed this guy, we're going to turn to our right, and this would be kind of the doorway directly ahead of the previous staircase that we came up. Sadly, I sprint a little bit fast down the stairs and I flew into the basement area where there's poison gas. So I've come back up the staircase slightly. Dispatch of this guard, and then we have a trap to jump over. This one's a little bit tricky. You're going to have to sprint jump as it's swinging towards us. And it's dark, so it's a bit difficult. Head through the doorway, and then we're going to do a little sneaky jump here to kind of finish the level. I don't think it's the official route to take, but here on the top of the staircase you can see the pulsating platform on the right hand side. Sprint jump to that, and that's going to instantly take us through the northwest dungeon. At this point, we're only 1 dungeon away from this glorious room that's full of enemies that we're going to farm. So from here, we're going to head forward. And then we want to take a left where this path splits. The right would obviously take you to a different dungeon, so you want to take the path on the left hand side. From here, we're going looking for a doorway. So this doorway on this right hand side here has a lock on it, so we can't go that way. So we're going to use the one that has the gate trap kind of falling. Just make sure that doesn't catch you. I did have an enemy sneak up behind me as I was about to go through the gate. Have alerted another enemy, so he's toying with me at the gate. Just dispatch of him. And then we're going to proceed into the larger room. I believe this one has two doors, one on the left and kind of one in the middle, opposite where you came in. One will obviously lead to a locked door, which I believe is this one, because it's always the wrong one I choose. So I'm backtracking and we're going to go through the door on the left. This will be the one that has the guard with the key. So we're going to dispatch of him in this room, pick up the key, and then we're going to backtrack to that doorway in the middle that I went through first. I have made a bit of a commotion, so there's another guard here trying to take me out, but nice and easy. Just avoid the traps, and then we're going to head over to this golden lock, walk through the gate, and then we're entering the Northwest Holdings. After a couple of playthroughs, I did find this the best place to finish off and grind those kills. There is around 15 enemies that spawn in at once. Also leveled up, so I'm just going to go into perks and use this last perk here. We now have 8 unlocked, and that's going to pop us the achievement for Blacksmith III. There's no staircase or anything to drop down from here, so it's just a case of jumping down. As you mantle over, a spike wall will chase you, so just run forward, take a right, and you'll enter this room here with a single guard. Make sure you take him out. And then we're going to bear left, so make sure you're kind of hugging the left wall. Go around this little dog leg here. You'll find another guard. Dispatch of him. And if you're pushing in the right stick, you'll be making some noise and you should get another guard come from the room next door. Just dispatch of him. Before going into the next room, we're going to take a left here. So we're still hugging the left wall. And there's a trap at the end of this corridor that keeps dropping down. We're going to use this as a lift. It's going to take us up to the next level. And then up here, we should find 5 or 6 of them all grouped together. If you find yourself getting overwhelmed in the room itself, try to funnel them in this little doorway here. Take them out as they come through one at a time. If you do die, don't worry, you'll just checkpoint back to the start of this dungeon, which we can just retrace our steps and kill them over again, because that's what we're going to do anyway. So dispatch of these guys. Once these guys have killed, there is a couple more kicking around. We've leveled up again, but we don't need to spend the perk points. So in the large room on the upper level, we're going to take a right and then drop down this trap here. And you should find a couple more kicking around. Again, keep pushing in the right thumbstick to make some noise and they should come towards you. And then once you've killed these guys, and it sounds particularly quiet, you can't hear any more rustling of feet. What we're going to do is go to start, load, and then load our previous checkpoint. This is going to throw us back at the very start of this level. Again, just mantle over the top of here. The spike wall is going to chase you. We're going to bear right as we did previously and just retrace our steps. So kill this guy, hug the left hand side wall, and then again go up to the top level and dispatch of that large group of enemies. And just keep rinse and repeating this method until you have the full 50 kills. If you've been following along with the guide, Duellist III should be your last achievement to pop. I'm playing on a pre-release copy of the game, so when I go to check the 1000G, it says there isn't any achievements, but you should have the full 1000. If you found this guide useful, drop it a like. If you want to see more content from myself, please do subscribe.